Maybe you have a favorite nonprofit organization and you would like to make provisions to leave them something in your will. Would you know how to go about doing that? Well, if you want to know more about that, stay tuned. Everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. My guest this morning is Adam Rubin. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Andrea. Great to always meet with you. Connect.
Always a pleasure. Lately, I feel like I say this every time, but I see more people on Zoom than any other way. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Adam,
thank you.
Why don't you just tell our audience a little bit who you are, your organization, and what is your role there, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. My name is Adam Rubin. I'm the senior partner with the law firm Levine, Furnam, and Rubin. Law firm has been established for over 42 years. Okay, and what we focus on here is just estate planning, and elder law, and also administration when a loved one passes away. We're really just focused on those areas. Wanted to become the best we could, so that's really how we shine our shoes.
Okay. So I like this topic because I feel like many people, obviously I work for SCAN. SCAN is a nonprofit, but there's many people that have affiliations with nonprofits on many levels, and they might want to make provisions after they're gone to their favorite nonprofit, whatever it is. So how do people do that?
Okay, so there's a lot of ways to leave charitable devices to a nonprofit, and it really is so powerful when you do it. And there's definitely better ways, because the last thing you want is for what is a good deed to, the phrase, no good deed goes unpunished. The last thing we want is that charitable gift or device to essentially cause more harm than good or create more aggravation. When people leave charitably through their estate planning documents, there's really two ways they can do it. One way is you leave a specific devise. A specific devise means whether it's a will or a trust, you're going to leave a specific dollar amount. Okay. The benefit of leaving a specific amount is that the charity is not a partner in your estate. What I mean by that is, as much as we love helping that organization, if you leave a percentage, which we're going to talk about briefly, then you have to almost account for everything that happened from the date of your passing to the date of distribution.
Oh.
With a specific amount, I find it's a lot cleaner, because if you leave 50,000 to your favorite charity, let's say, just for SCAN, we're not doing a promo, but just because I'm looking at you and it is my favorite charity, that and the Alzheimer's Association, those are my two favorite. But if I leave 50,000 to SCAN, okay, then it's very clean when I pass away. My wife or my children make the check payable to SCAN, SCAN gets it, and it's cleaner. If I leave SCAN as a residuary beneficiary of my estate, which means that's when we look at the pie, the 100%, and we start dividing up percentages. Right. So let's say 20% to SCAN. And what my wife has to do is then when I pass away, calculate the total and then see if there's any adjustment for more or less if the assets grow since I pass or the expenses are paid. So it can be a lot more work, a lot of approval, and it takes some of the shine off the charitable gift. Now, in certain scenarios, a percentage of the residue is better. The scary thing about leaving a dollar amount is I mentioned leaving 50,000 to SCAN.
Yeah.
The problem is if my assets go down greatly, okay, and I only have 52,000, that means SCAN might be getting more than my children, which, I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying you have to be aware of that.
Sure, it's a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. With the percentage, you can leave an amount and it hedges against the future of your assets, whether they go up or down. So it's really plus and minus. Honestly, it factors in when we advise clients is we want to look at how much they want to gift, what portion of their estate it is. And then you move on to asking them, well, if the assets grew or shrunk, how would you feel? So that's kind of the crux of when we decide charitable gift. It's always percentage versus dollar amount. That's how I look at it. Now, there's two ways to charitably gift, all right, when you pass away. One way is through a will, which is standard.
Okay.
We all know the will. You pass away, it goes to the probate court, they read it, and it's public. When you leave through a charity, when you leave to a charity through a will, you have to involve the Attorney General. Now, some people like this because they say that's great. The Attorney General's involved. They're going to make sure that my favorite organization's getting a dollar amount. There's no funny business happening. It really works out terrifically. The other way to leave through a charity is through a trust, a living trust. Now, when you devise through a revocable living trust, which is what we, as you know, Andrea, we do a lot of, you don't have to involve the Attorney General and it's private. So if that's what you want, it does make life a little easier for your family, but that might, again, you might want the Attorney General involved because that makes sure that there's no games. The charity certainly is not being manipulated. So it's all how we look at it.
So what I'm getting from this is that there's not a right or a wrong, but you absolutely have to consult someone to understand what your options are. I don't feel like this is something a do-it-yourself situation, especially if a lot of money is involved.
Right. I tend to agree. And it's not even if you need to talk to a professional, and it's not even if there's a lot or a little money involved, because frankly, if let's say the specific device is $500, you're leaving to a charity, or 1,000. If you do it as a specific amount, it might be cleaner, but if you leave a charity 1% of your assets, that actually could cause a lot of aggravation. So I almost think even if it's a large dollar amount or small, you need to consult with someone just to make sure you're good intentions, which again, there's nothing better than giving to a deserving organization, but you want to make sure it's not going to cause more aggravation for your family or for the organization.
Right. Well, but once again, another reason why I'm firmly convinced that your will, your estate, it's not something you just do on your own on a scrap of paper.
Oh gosh, no. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Well, some people still think I'll save money and I'll do it that way. But I feel like any money you think you're saving, what about the aggravation you might be causing for your heirs? So don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Right, I agree. It's one of those, and this is what I tell people. I know a lot of people. We live in an era time where people want to always do things themselves. Whether it's cabinets or estate planning, and there's a reason there's professionals who do this every day, and there's just going to be issues you don't think of. So I agree 100%. Consult with a professional. We're very fortunate in the Monmouth Ocean area. There's a lot of great professionals. I think I put myself on the list, but I'm certainly not the only one. But definitely speak to someone who does this regularly.
So of course, for everyone who's listening, we'll have all of Adam's contact info in the description. A curiosity: is there ever a limit of how much you can leave a nonprofit organization?
Oh.
You could leave. You could just say, "I'll give my entire estate to the American Cancer Association" or something like that.
Absolutely, you can. You're allowed to leave it. Again, we might want to do that through a trust, but you absolutely can leave your entire estate to the American Cancer Association or Society. You can leave it to any organization you want. There's no limit at all.
Okay. See, good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you for sharing this. Any final thoughts on, charitable giving to a nonprofit?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you have to be very careful, Andrea. You can't say to a lawyer, "Do you have any final thoughts?" Lawyers are known for having a lot of words to say and
I
always being
forgot.
last.
What was I thinking? Yeah.
But there's other great ways of giving to charity, which are even have income tax benefits. We do certain charitable trusts where if people want to gift appreciated property, you can avoid paying some of the taxes due to the IRS and having that money go to the organization, or gifting through your retirement account is always great because it's very clean to do, and again, you avoid certain income taxes. So
Right.
there's a lot of ways. We're just opening a door to a really great opportunity. But, like I said, you can't say to a lawyer, do you have any final thoughts and do you want the last word? That's very dangerous, Angie.
Your closing argument. Yeah. Well, I think the closing argument, I'll make it for you, is if you are considering this, I think you need to call a professional, such as Adam. But as you said, there's many professionals, but Adam just happens to be one of our favorites. Not to mention a very supporter of SCAN. So for that, we're very grateful.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrea. And yeah, listen, I love SCAN and everything they do, as you know. I'm always excited to work with you guys, be a part of it.
Thank you.
It's fabulous organization, and I can't believe some of the growth and things that you guys are doing over there. It's just unbelievable.
We're doing our best. We definitely are. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Adam, for sharing this info about charitable giving to a nonprofit. Again, all of Adam's contact info will be in the description. Feel free to reach out if you want to get the best possible information you can before making a decision. All right. Remember, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr. We'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Adam.
Bye, Andrea. You're the best.
Thank you.